Good evening and welcome to the Dragons TV halftime show. I'm James Biernot.
I'm Greg Starks.
And it's been a good first half of basketball, all things considered for the Dragons. 23-20 is your score at the half. We just saw Kara McCormick three-pointer to close out the first half and the second quarter, which was good to see. The Dragons are facing off against Charleston. They're 12-4 this year, 3-2 in the conference. They've lost 2 straight, but they are a really strong team. And I'm a little worried because a stat that I looked at before this game, Greg, Drexel's been outscored in 11 of 15 of their games in the second half. They can't do that again today. They've really held this top scoring offense to only 20 points. That's a huge feat already. They're going to have to do a lot well in this second half, though.
Yeah, I'm loving our defense. Our defense is playing really well, forcing a really bad shooting night from Charleston. But our offense hasn't really gotten going, and our turnovers have been very, very poor. And what you pointed to is our poor second half. I'm worried about our bench depth. I think our bench depth is going to maybe hurt us down the line unless we do some certain adjustments to approach that attack.
Absolutely. It's really only Lane McGurk and Molly Lavin that come in consistently off the bench, so that'll be definitely something to look at. Now let's take it into the halftime stats presented by Drexel University Physical Therapy. Drexel University Physical Therapy is the solution to your nagging aches and pains and is located conveniently on Drexel's campus. Contact Drexel PT by scanning the QR code on screen. So you're looking at the stats right now. Dragons are shooting 10 for 24, pretty respectable from the field. Only 7 3-pointers attempted so far, and they've only hit 2 of them. That's not a great mark for them. They got to get the 3-ball going a little bit more. It can be Kara McCormick. It can be Amaris Baker. We'll see who it is. Drexel is on top in the rebounding battle, 21-17. That's a good thing. They are a shorter team overall than Charleston, so a good sight there. The turnovers, though, 14-5, not a good sight for the Dragons. They got to play less sloppy. They got to bring that same defensive intensity, but really get the offense as a more efficient unit overall. Greg, let's bring you back in.
Yeah, James, that sets me up perfectly for our halftime adjustments for this game. And our halftime adjustments are presented by Rothman Orthopedics. Rothman Orthopedics are the official team physicians of your Dragons. They provide the region with unmatched orthopedic care. Now, one of the adjustments I want to look at is the Amaris Baker show. We didn't see much of her in the second quarter. I think she just got a rest, but that's because of her big first quarter. Yep. Drexel scored 14 points in the first quarter. She had 10 of those points. We love Amaris Baker. We love seeing her go off, but our offense, once she kind of came off the court, we went 4 minutes and 50 seconds without scoring. And luckily, Charleston didn't make us pay, but we can't bank on that in the second half.
Absolutely. Amaris Baker is the Dragons' offense this year. She's averaging 21 points per game, even more than her season average in 5 CAA games. She's averaging 18.7, which is the most in CAA in points per game. And not only that, she's playing the most minutes per game in the CAA. She's playing all but 3 minutes per game. She's a true workhorse. She hit the game winner on the road against Hampton. That was a big win. Just had her career high against NCA&T with 33. I can't stop talking about Amaris Baker, but the problem is the offense is a lot thinner around her. Nobody else is averaging double digits this year. Nobody else is looking like they might scrap into double digits tonight. Maybe Deja Evans. She's the second leading scorer on the team with 8.4. But they got to bring a lot more on offense, and it can't just be Amaris. She already had 10. They need to get Grace O'Neal shooting the ball a little bit more. She's a good floor general as well. Have her dish it out to Kara. Bring in more people. Chloe Hodges can really drive the ball in the paint. They've got a lot of weapons. They just got to do more with it.
Yeah, that brings us back to her playing not too much in the second quarter. I think a coaching staff even knows they have to preserve Amaris Baker, how the offense has been playing. And that goes into the turnover battle, too. We saw Charleston implement a full court press, and that really kind of raffled the brains of our Dragons. They couldn't really figure out how to beat the press, and a lot of our turnovers, 14 of them that we had, came from the full court press. And I think Charleston is starting to force us to play to their game, speed up our tempo, kind of wear ourselves out. And we have to make sure that we don't play to their tempo. We stay under control and not speed up our internal clock.
Yeah, work out the plays, make sure we're setting out and finding players for shots before we're making any silly decisions. Always a good move there, Greg. But I think we have to hit them with the same thing they're hitting us. Chloe Hodges and Deja Evans both are top defenders who can really steal the ball and put the pressure on the guards and the forwards of Charleston. Bring that same defensive intensity in the second half and try to get that offense working, and we should see some more great Drexel basketball. But from Greg and I, that is all we have for you here on the Dragons TV halftime show. We're sending it back to Ari and Maggie for the second half right after this.